Jesus, Fleabag, did you see we're supposed to get 6 inches of rain by Friday? My God, man. I have to bat down the hatches here at the Mojo Manor. 6 inches, my God, that's a lot of rain. Well, what the hell? We started 2025 off with fires. We might as well finish with floods, right? What's that? I missed my cue. All right, roll it. We're not going to start over again. Just let it go.
From Hollywood, welcome to the Rat's Ass Podcast with Mojo Elliott.
All right, here we go with the final episode of 2025.
Who gives a rat's ass?
From the Mojo Studio at the Mojo Dojo, buried deep inside the Santa Monica Mountains, away from all the crazies. Who's ready to go on another action-packed adventure?
Let's do it.
Here's what's on tap on the wrap. I will reveal the winner of Radio Wars 2025. It's payday. Will Fleabag be writing me a check for 5 Gs? Are gift cards ruining Christmas? And what do I mean by go away, kid, you bug me? And what the hell happened in 2025? We will review it all. Another round of head traumas on the way. We're going to play It Sounds Dirty, But It's Not, plus our usual lunacy and loose behavior, including weird, wacky, and ridiculous people. And who's up for a good rock tale today from TDK? That's what's happening today on the Rat's Ass Podcast for Monday, December 22nd. And this is it for 2025 and Season 2 for the Rat's Ass Podcast. And I do want to thank all of you for listening throughout the year and supporting the podcast. I really, really appreciate you hitting that play button a couple of times a week. Now, I do have to admit, over the past month or so, I have been debating whether I want to continue to do this podcast or not. Do I want to commit to doing a Season 3? Do I want to start maybe an entirely different podcast that's serious? That's not me. That's not me. And then I thought, well, maybe it's time to hang up the mic and shuffle off into the abyss. And then I peeked at my Christmas gifts under the tree. And guess what? I'm getting new headphones. So I'm not leaving.
The show goes on!
That's right. Show goes on. We're going to do it and kick it off January 5th. All right, got to tell you about my red light special before I get started here because it's pretty funny. I sneezed real hard on Friday night, woke up on Saturday morning, and I had the red eye. You know, where you pop a blood vessel in your eye and the white becomes red? It's disgusting. But, you know, I try to say, okay, how can I take advantage of this? So I go to the gym, and you know how I complain about these guys who like to sit on the machines and scroll? You know, 30 seconds to do a set, 30 minutes on the phone scrolling. The world revolves around them. We're just living in it. Well, I walked up to these people that were doing this and looked at them with my red eye, and I said, do you mind if I work in? And they would look up and look at me. They'd see the red eye. Not only did they get up and walk away, they ran. They literally ran away from me. All right, so, you know, sometimes you take a negative and you turn it into a positive. What can I tell you? All right, let's get into the wrap here. You know, back in June, we lined up the top 64 classic rock stations in the top 75 markets in America and started a March Madness Survive and Advance challenge called Radio Wars. Now, today, I have the pleasure of telling you who is the best classic rock station in America for 2025. And it's based on the criteria that I used to program rock radio stations for a number of years during my day in the sun. So if you'll indulge me for just a second, I'll explain my anal retentive criteria for you, because it really will help set up Radio Wars 2026. Okay, the criteria is when I look at a radio station, we take an hour of music and we basically judge it on how many songs did you play in the hour? That's music quantity. We look at era balance. Does it have a nice balance of like 2Ks, 90s, 80s, 70s, 60s, whatever your specialty is of that particular radio station? Then we look at variety of sound codes, meaning is it a metal song, hard rock, rock, pop rock, alternative, maybe it's southern rock and blues. Okay, we look at the variety of those sound codes in an hour. Then we look at familiarity. Do you know the song? Is it familiar to you? Because a song you don't know, 9 times out of 10, somebody punches out of the radio station. Expectation. Does this song belong? Or are they throwing something in at random to try and fake their variety? Then we have core artist distribution, meaning that each radio station has a series of core artists. Like it might be AC/DC, it could be Led Zeppelin, could be Metallica, Pearl Jam, whatever it is. And you want at least one every quarter hour. And if you have more, that's fine. So we look at how many core artists per hour. Then there's flow, meaning does it keep the vibe going? I'm somebody that likes mixes. I like for a radio station that flows nicely. It kind of is like a song that's singing to you, as opposed to you get these what we call train wrecks, where it doesn't make sense and it leads to you subliminally punching out of the radio station because they killed your vibe. Then we look at image. Your logo. If your logo has name or call letters, your frequency, slogan, and is it localized? That's what we're looking for. And then if we're tied at that point, we go to the ratings. And we look at your Nielsen's 12-plus ratings, 12-plus meaning the age group, or I think in some of the bigger markets, Nielsen now goes 6-plus, 6 years old plus, but that's what we're looking at. And whoever has the highest rating wins. They win the tiebreaker. Now, I fully expected to go to a tiebreaker on this one between WARO in Fort Myers, Florida, market number 51, and WCMF, Rochester, New York, at market number 60. Those were the finalists this year. To get to the finals, you got to be consistent. Every time that we judge an hour of music that you played, and that's why they got here, is every time they went up against another radio station, they just did a better hour of music, or they did a better job of imaging or being highly rated. That's how the criteria works. So the final battle, like I said, came down to WARO in Fort Myers. And let's see, who else? WCMF in Rochester, New York. That's the finalist. And those of you who thought I was going to rig it for my favorite classic rock stations in America, well, here, I got something for you. Yeah, take that on the head. How about one to grow on? There you go. All right, here's how it played out. All right, we looked at music quantity. Both radio stations tied. They played 12 songs in the hours we judged. Era balance went to WCMF. They played a nice era balance of 90s, 80s, 70s, and 60s, where WARO kind of focused 80s and 70s. Both radio stations did an excellent job with familiarity and expectation, so we put a tie on that. Variety went to WARO. They just had more variety of sound codes that we talked about. Core artist distribution went to WARO. They had 5 core artists in the hour we judged, whereas WCMF had 4, but both meet the criteria of one every quarter hour. They met that. Flow, both these radio stations are in the finals because they know how to make a radio station flow. No train wrecks in any of their hours. When we went to image, the image went to WCMF to tie it up at 2 categories each because they have names. They have they have the call letters, the frequency, slogan, and they localized it, where WARO does not localize. So we had to go to the ratings, the Nielsen ratings. WCMF Rochester has a 6.6 share right now, as at the end of November. And WARO, 4.2, meaning WCMF is, let me do this the correct way, 96.5, WCMF. Rochester's classic rock. The Rat's Ass Podcast 2025 Classic Rock Radio Station of the Year. And you can stream them on the iHeart Radio app, too, if you want to check them out. Right there where your Rat's Ass Podcast hangs out, too, if you're an iHeart listener. But there you go. That's it for 2025 and Radio War. So what are we going to do in 2026? Well, we're going to feature the highest rated rock stations in the top 50 markets in America going up against yours truly. Me, myself, and I, the 3 of us. Every Monday, I'm going to post 2 anonymous hours of music on the blog. And members from Rat Nation will be the judge by emailing, does hour A win or does hour B win? At the end of the week on Friday, we'll reveal which hour won. It might be me. Could be the competing radio station. So yeah, I'm the program director with a long career. Let's see how we battle this out. But again, congratulations to the gang at WCMF in Rochester, New York. We'll kick off Radio Wars 2026 January 5th when we get back from the holiday vacation. All right, Fleabag, it is time to get it on. Have you picked out your final TikTok quiz that will hopefully save your ass, your wallet, and end your gambling problem? All right, you're ready. Good. You got it ready to go. All right, text me what the topic is so we can let everybody in on it for this big final round here. Okay, classic cars. Really? Really? Classic cars. This is what you're putting on the line for $5,000. You know how much I love classic American muscle cars. All right, it's your money, man. It's your money. All right, I'm ready to do this. Let's hit it.
Question 1. Which car had the nickname Stingray?
The Corvette.
Answer C, Corvette. Question 2. What car model was nicknamed the GOAT?
Well, I had one. GTO. Pontiac GTO.
Answer B, Pontiac GTO. Question 3. Which car was known for the Hemi engine?
Dodge Challenger.
Answer B, Dodge Challenger. Question 4. Which car featured in the movie Bullitt, 1968?
Steve McQueen, that's a Ford Mustang. Fastback.
Answer C, Ford Mustang.
Yeah,
Question
Fleabag.
5.
My God.
What year was the first Chevrolet Camaro introduced?
1968.
Answer C, 1967.
What? What? 1967? Oh, Fleabag, you bastard. Oh, look at you sitting back with your arms crossed, smiling. You know, you get that big shit-eating grin on your face like Laurent Mamdani has. Oh, my God. Yeah. You're right. It was 1967. I just got overconfident. I got overconfident. You know, in my mind, 68 was the great year for muscle cars, so I flubbed it, man. You played me like a fiddle on that one, Fleabag. Congratulations. Keep that $5,000. You feel $5,000 richer, don't you? Even though you're not losing any money. I sure as hell feel $5,000 poorer, though. But hopefully we cured your gambling problem, that we made you sweat for a month. Yeah, all right. Yeah, get that grin off your face. God bless. God, I hate losing. God, I detest it. Even though I didn't want to take your money, Fleabag, I really, really didn't. I probably wouldn't have taken it anyway. I probably would have just handed it right back to you and ripped it up. Man, okay. All right, maybe we'll do some more of these next year if you find some good ones. All right, a story out last week says gift cards are ruining Christmas. Do you agree or disagree with this one? So apparently the younger the generation, the more they love gift cards as opposed to gifts. Some say that this practice spoils Christmas by ruining the shopping experience. Oh, yeah, well, I'm a guy. We don't like to shop anyway. I know you ladies love to go shopping. It also takes away the mystery of what's wrapped in all that pretty paper. Now, I guess because I'm a guy and I've accumulated more than I should have in a lifetime, I like the gift cards because it's the gift that keeps on giving all year long. I can use it on things that I actually need as opposed to, another tie or a set of socks or whatever the hell you get, belts, jeans that don't fit and you have to send back, that kind of stuff. But as for the surprise, there's no reason you can't wrap a gift card, right? You can wrap gift cards in pretty paper, I think, right? I certainly do. Now, the mystery is the amount of the gift card. There's your mystery right there. Now, the other nice thing about it is you find out who the cheapskates in your family are because you know the dollar amount they spent. Yeah, but you can regift them too because I do it. Okay? I started this a few years ago. I bought a $50 Starbucks gift card and I put a little dot on the bottom of the card. The next year I got it back. And the next year I just regifted it again to the same person. And guess what? I got it back last year. So guess what I'm doing this year? I'm regifting it back to them. So I don't know if they're aware or not. Maybe they're playing this silent game with me. But yeah, you can certainly regift those gift cards. Now, those of you familiar with the podcast know I live like it's the 80s when it comes to how I handle my phone, text, and email, right? In 2026, I'm going to digress even further and live like it's the damn 70s. This is before answering machines, email, texting, and pagers were available at all. They were probably just in somebody's mind thinking, what if we invented this? How would that help America? How would it help people's lives be easier? The more they invent this crap, the more difficult it is. But that's right. Here's what you do. You picture my cell phone as one of those 70s wall phones, just hanging on the wall. Back in the 70s, when it rang, we ignored it. We would stop what we were doing, waiting for it to go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rings till somebody would finally give up. Then we went back to doing what we were doing. Now, email is fine because I only open it once a week as it is, but texting, completely off table. Off the table, off the board. No more. I refuse to text anymore. I won't do it. If you can't call me, don't bother me. Now, the only calls I answer anyway are from people I know, for crying out loud. I mean, if I'm near the phone, which is as rare as finding a $3 bill, I'll pick up. 9 times out of 10, you're going to get the voicemail, and I will call back. Only the people that I know. That's living like the 70s now. All right, since this is the last episode of the Rat's Ass Podcast for 2025, I thought we'd kind of flash back on what happened this year, and I'm going to fly through these because there's quite a lot to get to. Let's start with the top 5 news stories. Get the bad news out of the way first for 2025, and this is kind of how I rank them. Number 5, Doge exposes the Democrats' piggy bank of fraud, leading to Tesla dealerships and cars being vandalized. Number 4, the Los Angeles fires that destroyed Pacific Palisades, Altadena, and parts of Malibu. Number 3, Donald Trump takes office, closing the border, and mass deportations begin, pissing off Democrats. Later, he took out Iran's nuclear program, saving mankind. Number 2, New York elects a communist Muslim Marxist and a socialist named Laurent Mamdani as its mayor. He has no previous life experience or accomplishments to speak of, and outside of being a failed rapper, that's what New York just said, yeah, he's for me. And number 1, the murder of Charlie Kirk. Top 5 news stories of 2025. 5 to number 1. All right, let's get into the more lighter stuff. Top grossing movies of 2025. See if you've seen these, because I haven't. Zooropa 2, Jurassic World Rebirth is what it was called. Superman, Lilo and Stitch, and a Minecraft movie. Didn't see any of those, but those are kid movies. Don't have kids, don't hang out with grandkids or anything like that, so yeah, why would I go? Top 5 most streamed shows. Squid Game was at number 5, Wednesday, number 4, Severance checked in at number 3, The Last of Us at number 2, and The White Lotus number 1. Again, 5 shows I didn't see, so I got some catching up to do. In sports, you might remember the Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl. NBA Finals went to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Florida Panthers won the Stanley Cup. And the Los Angeles Dodgers won the World Series. Back-to-back, as a matter of fact. NCAA football champion was Ohio State. NCAA basketball champion was Florida. Some of the celebrities that we lost in 2025. Robert Redford, Gene Hackman, Diane Keaton, Loretta Swit, Hulk Hogan, Ozzy Osbourne, Michelle Trachtenberg, Malcolm Jamal Warner, Michael Madsen, David Lynch, Brian Wilson from the Beach Boys, and designer Giorgio Armani, and recently Rob Reiner. So what will 2026 bring? New York City, all eyes are on you out of the gate with Ma'am Scammy taking the oath. All right, nobody really tells a good rock tale like TDK. What do you say we end Season 2 of the Rat's Ass Podcast on kind of a high note here and find out what's going on in the world of rock?
When a rock star's brother told him about a book he was reading, he had no idea that the story would end up in a classic metal track and help him with his own issues. Back in the late 1980s, this guitar player-singer's band was working on an album, and things were not going easy for anyone. So when the singer's brother told him about this book, it literally struck a chord with him. He identified with the book's story. It reminded him of his own feelings of being stuck in your skin and not being able to tell anyone about your emotions. The singer was dealing with trauma from his childhood as well as a tragedy that his band had just endured. So when James Hetfield wrote One, a tale of a soldier trapped in his own mind, it was also the first small step on his own road to recovery.
Darkness imprisoning me. All that I see.
Sweet Jesus, I finally get 2 weeks of serenity now.
Yeah, me too.
Here is Mojo Elliott with sports on the wrap.
All right, it all went as planned on the NFL on Sunday. There were no big surprises. The Steelers' win over Detroit was huge, probably knocked the Lions out of the playoffs. Kansas City getting toasted by Tennessee was a WTF game. And I went 11-4 with my picks, 3-0 with my Pick-em-4 money games. On Monday Night Football tonight, San Francisco at Indianapolis. And I've got the 49ers rising to the occasion to win my Pick-em-4 and put a little extra Christmas scratch in my pocket. I was thrilled to see the Raiders' Ashton Jeanty finally live up to his first-round number 6 pick status yesterday. He had 188 all-purpose yards, 2 touchdowns. I hope this kid really pans out. I know I talked last podcast about him being a bust. I'd like to remove that label on him because the Raiders, I want to see them do well. Hopefully they'll get a number 1 draft pick and they'll get a quarterback this time. And all will be right with the silver and black finally after all these years. I can dream, can't I? Can I dream? But this could have been one of those games where the sun shines on a dog's ass every now and then too. But he did it against a damn tough Houston defense. So hopefully this is a confidence builder for him. All right, as a Raider fan, we are just so used to losing. I hate that I can't be positive about something until, even he has a great game and I still feel like, I feel like Schleprock here. I know it was just something that was one game all day and we're going to go back to sucking again next week. All right, the final 8 are set to square off against the NCAA football playoffs, and the matchups are Oregon at Texas Tech, Alabama at Indiana. We got Ole Miss and Georgia, and Miami versus Ohio State. And by the way, since I'll be on hiatus until January 5th, you can get my weekly NFL picks, including the weekly Pick 'em 4 money games on the blog at ratsasspodcast.com. All right, let's go to the chat box here. Bobby Wilder of Fond du Lac, Wisconsin said, "Do you think the Chicago Bears would actually leave Chicago?" You mean move to Indiana? Yeah, this is, it's probably trying to get leverage to get a stadium deal. But on the other hand, maybe the Democrats, like they did here in California, they let the Raiders go. They let the A's go. They're going to Vegas. The Raiders are already there. The A's are on their way. I kind of think, why would the Democrats in Illinois be any different? Would they care if the Bears left? I mean, they hate progress. They hate it. I'd say if you want to ensure the Bears stay in Chicago, Illinois, you got to stop electing Democrats. The other side is Soldier Field is one of the smallest stadiums in the NFL. The Bears want a bigger house to play football. They could build a lot cheaper across the border in Indiana probably, get better weather. And I bet Bears fans will travel for that. They wouldn't be happy, but they'd travel. But Illinois, you got to stop voting for these Democrats, man. They're destroying your state just like Newsom has destroyed California. Stop it. You might lose the Bears. Do you want to lose the Chicago Bears? Perry Gutkus, Richmond, Virginia, said, you don't talk about hockey much. Why is that? Well, there are a couple of reasons, Perry. One, it's early in the season, really. I mean, outside of Colorado being 26-2-7, which is amazing, there are no other stories really popping up, and I get very few questions about hockey too. Maybe, I guess, if we talked about it more, we'd get more emails about it, but that's why. But hey, I do have to congratulate Sid Crosby, the Pittsburgh Penguins, for passing Mario Lemieux as the Pens' all-time leading scorer. Congratulations to Sidney Crosby, one of the best to ever lace him up. All right, that is sports for you today on the Rats.
Rat's Ass Podcast. Head trauma.
All right, let's see if we can figure this one out together. Remember, it sounds dirty, but it's not. All right, clue number 1, I have to be half naked for you to eat me. Clue number 2, I can be found on one bed or another. And clue number 3, I can give you a pearl necklace. It sounds dirty, I know, but it is not. All right, again, clue number 1, I have to be half naked for you to eat me. Clue 2, I can be found in one bed or another. And clue 3, I can give you a pearl necklace. All right, you think about it, and I'll have the answer for you coming up.
It's time for some loose behavior on the Rat's Ass Podcast.
All right, let's feel good about ourselves for the holidays. That's why I've chosen to do weird, wacky, and ridiculous people for you today. Jake Barone, Tallahassee, Florida, wanted to get his wife something really nice for Christmas, but he didn't have any money. He was broke because he's been unemployed for 2 years. Then all of a sudden, the light bulb went off, and he recalled that his 92-year-old grandmother, Effie, had a fairly large jewelry collection. Probably wouldn't miss one piece if he slipped into her house and stole it. So he waited for her regular bingo night on Tuesday night and attempted to climb into her house through a back door window. Didn't go so well for Jake. Unfortunately, he got the surprise of his life when Grandma Effie didn't go to bingo. As he was sifting through her jewelry, Effie unloaded a shotgun full of buckshot in his rear end.
Ooh, that one hurt.
You bet it did. Can you imagine looking through the jewelry and boom! Oh, and your ass is on fire. That couldn't have been fun.
Hey, heads up. Here comes your celebrity cheese.
All right, Giselle Bundchen got married to the trainer she cheated on Tom Brady with, Bundchen and Jacques Valenti. Will now give it a go until Giselle tires of him, because she will, and so will he. It's in their blood. Tom Brady said he was happy for them. Are you buying it? You know Tom is sitting at home at night with a voodoo doll of Giselle, and he's sticking pins in it every night, followed by some hideous laughter going, you know, that's what's happening. And she's thinking the whole time it's Jacques poking her. That's what's going on there. All right, hey, you want to hear about Lauren Sanchez Bezos' time hanging out with the Kardashians? No? Okay. What about Rob Reiner's daughter, Romy, saying she lived in fear of Nick? Yeah? You want to hear that one? Okay. Well, apparently Romy, who played Betty Spaghetti in the movie A League of Their Own, has lived in fear of Nick since she was a child. She said she had to walk around on eggshells around him in fear of him going off the rails over the smallest reason. You know, I kind of get this picture that Nick Reiner sounds like the kind of guy Dexter Morgan would love to get on his table. Those of you guys hoping Olivia Rodrigo would become single are, well, you got your wish, and now you can take your shot. Olivia and boy toy Louis Partridge have split after 2 years, and right before Christmas. So sadly, Olivia won't have a partridge in her pear tree this Christmas. 67-year-old Madonna went makeup-free to celebrate Hanukkah with her 29-year-old boyfriend, Hakeem Morris. Or as we call it, us normal guys, a Coyote Christmas. All right, and the count ends today. Ladies and gentlemen, if Britney Spears has been single for 303 days...
Who gives a rat's ass?
That's right.
Rat's Ass Podcast. Email from our Gmail.
All right, this is where anything goes based on your questions, comments, and observations. I'm looking at the clock, and my God, Fleabag, we're a little bit long-winded today, huh? All right, let's get through these real quick then, so we can let people go and enjoy their holiday. Dick M. from Cumberland, Maryland. Even though you're not involved with radio anymore, do you still listen? No. Dick, the last time I turned on a radio station was the end of 2023, as a matter of fact. So it's been a couple of years. I read charts. That's what I do. I look at radio station ratings and charts. I don't need to listen to them. I know how they sound just by looking at the data. You know, what I do like, I got to clue you guys in on this. If you haven't downloaded the latest version of iTunes, they now have a seg feature, which allows your music to flow like a radio station without all the stuff that goes in between. So when I'm driving, man, it sounds like I'm listening to a radio station, and it just flows beautifully. So nice. So nice. I've got about 10, 12 different playlists. So whatever I'm in the mood for, I just hit play and off we go. Off we go. All right, Brenda H., Morgantown, West Virginia, and we've got a dating dilemma today. Brenda says, I started dating this guy I met at a Halloween party, and being the good girl I am, I didn't give it up until a couple of weeks ago. And now I haven't heard from him since. Is this standard practice for men? Well, I think for some, and I'm going to guess here, but I'd say, he kind of felt like he invested 6 weeks to get a little tail from you. He either had it in his mind that he was going to hit it and quit it for the time invested, or maybe, I hate to say it, but maybe he felt the sex wasn't as good as he imagined it would be. My advice is just forget about it, chalk it up to experience, and move on, Brenda. All right, Nate Z., Hilton Head, South Carolina, said, what do you think the Democrat strategy is with their affordability push? Well, here's all you need to realize. Every problem that we deal with today has been caused by Democrats. And I know Democrats are going, what are you talking about, Mojo? It's not a problem. Yeah, it is. Obamacare. That was a 100% Democratic program shoved down our throats by Obama. Inflation, Joe Biden brought that on us. The border invasion, who did that? Okay, that's just 3. Okay, but you name it, every problem we have in this country has been brought on by the Democratic Party, and they always look to the Republicans to fix it, and then they blame them for their dirty deeds. Goes on all the time. Now, what you have to realize is they want party back. They want power back. They want their party back. So they'll lie, cheat, steal, and probably kill for it because they have plans for America. Their strategy is to convince you the party that has been destroying America from within since Obama was elected is the party who can fix it. Don't be nuts, folks. But my deep concern is Americans will be stupid enough to believe it. All right, Carrie of Knoxville, Tennessee. Carrie. I love that name. I wonder if you ever get drunk and spell it wrong. First name first, first name last. A little different with the I-E and the Y. There I go, making fun of people's names again. Shouldn't do that. But she says, do you think the Muslim issue that's starting to gain traction is real or propaganda? Well, I'll tell you what, I'm absolutely going to believe it's real. Because when a group of radicals say they're going to kill me, I believe them. Call me crazy, but this is why I've gone out of my way to have door knockers made out of bacon. Yeah. That, and I'm working on a floor mat right now where, right at the house, it'll be a bacon floor mat with go away on it. All right, Owen K. Byesville, Ohio said, how about a good Mojo-style joke to last until you're back in the new year? Let's see. I heard a good joke that Robin Williams once told, and it's been making the rounds. And I haven't told this one before. But a father and mother are going at it in the bedroom, going at it hot and heavy. All of a sudden, the father hears a noise, turns around and looks, and his son Timmy standing in the doorway, watching him go at it. And as soon as Timmy is caught, he starts running away and going down the hallway in fear of getting in trouble. Dad says to Mom, yeah, let's just stop here. I'll go talk to him. Don't worry about it. I'll talk to Timmy. And he goes off in search of Timmy, finds him in the bedroom. And what's Timmy doing? Well, he's right there behind Grandma going, who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? And Timmy, what are you doing to Grandma? He looks around and says, it's not so funny when it's your mother getting it, is it? All right, if you have any questions, comments, or observations, send them to my producer. I know that's sick. Sick and twisted, just the way we like it. But Fleabag, send it to him at ratsasspodcast@gmail.com. ratsasspodcast@gmail.com. Oh, God, okay. Let's find out who's here. Rat's Ass Podcast, go. What the hell? Well, that didn't work out well, did it? Why is there a busy signal on when you're calling me? That didn't work out well. All right, well, forget about it. Who wants the answer to the head trauma question? I know you're looking for it. Give me the sounder.
Rat's Ass Podcast. Head trauma.
That helps change my gears right there without changing gears. All right, did you figure out today's, it sounds dirty, but it's not? Clue number 1, I have to be half naked for you to eat me. Clue number 2, I can be found in one bed or another. And clue number 3, I can give you a pearl necklace. Sounds dirty, but it's not. If you guessed an oyster, yeah, baby. Yeah, congratulations. But if you missed it, go see a doctor about your head trauma and get well soon. All right. I think we've gone long enough. 32 minutes here so far. I got to split. Would you believe I still have to make out my Christmas list and get ready to go shopping on the 24th?
Holy by golly, you haven't started Christmas shopping yet.
No, Alexa. No well-hung man shops before December 24th.
What you're saying is you've been fooling everybody for years, haven't you?
You know what, Alexa? I'm really going to miss you over the next 2 weeks.
Well, I'll miss you too, Mojo, my two-headed stallion of a man.
God. Fly, Alexa. Fly. Be off with you. Have a good Christmas. Did you know being alone weakens the body and having friends strengthens the body? Now, I'm going to call major bullshit on this one because it's been my experience. The fewer people I have in my world, the happier I am. In fact, I'm happier than a newly released convict getting laid for the first time in 25 years. That's me when it comes to people.
I wish you could just shut your big yapper.
Wow, okay, I will right after I do my shout-outs. To Rat Nation, all 616 members. New members, Zach Shorter of Portland, Oregon. Kelly Klein in Boulder, Colorado. Jared Holtzman, Las Vegas, Nevada. Matt Carmichael in Flagstaff, Arizona joins his brother as a Rat Nation member, and David Darius of San Bernardino, California, the San Bernardino, and around the world to listeners in every country that tunes in, including our top 10 of Australia, Brazil, Canada, France, Germany, India, Ireland, New Zealand, Spain, and the UK. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to hit the play button on the Rat's Ass Podcast.
Now's your chance to be one of the few and the loud. Join Rat Nation at ratsasspodcast.com. Membership does have its rewards, you know.
All right, breathe deep and exhale. That's it for this episode of the Rat's Ass Podcast. Don't forget to catch Rat's Ass Rock TV the day after Christmas for our end-of-year best-of series featuring 21 of the greatest rock bands of all time in their top 12 videos. Oh, there's going to be a load of fun there for you. Go to ratsasspodcast.com and hit the YouTube icon on the homepage. That's it for 2025 for me. Season 3 starts on Monday, January 5th. Have a Merry Christmas and a happy but safe New Year. And thanks for listening to the Rat's Ass Podcast.
The conversation continues between podcasts on X and ratsasspodcast.com. ratsasspodcast.com.